Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kim Beebe, and I'm going to share a story with you. Growing up, I had some great grandmas. And of course, I had grandmas, they were alive too, but I had two great grandmas that I really remember. And one was Grandma Coffin, and the other one was Grandma Carlton. Well, Grandma Carlton was this type of lady that when you went to her house, she had these birds, like these little ceramic birds. And we would go inside, do not touch the birds. We'd get this big long talk before we pulled up in the driveway about these birds. And my mother would say, please don't touch the birds. You know, we were always guarded. We were always watching everything that we did at her house. But on the other side, I had Grandma Coffin. Now, Grandma Coffin didn't live as long as Grandma Carlton. Grandma Carlton actually lived until I was probably in my 20s. And she was a grumpy old woman all the way to the day she died. I mean, she just was not very nice. She said things to you that wasn't very friendly. She just wasn't a very nice person sometimes. But Grandma Coffin only lived till I was like 7. And she was so much fun. I loved to go to Grandma Coffin's house. She lived in this little bitty house across the school in Highlands, Texas. She lived down the street from my grandparents. It was a little white house, and we would go, and she always had things for us to do, and she always had cookies, and she would have watermelon seed fights with us, and she would do all of these really fun things with us. And so I just loved going to her house. And then on the other side, I had this, Grandma Carlton. So at Thanksgiving, I had all of my family over, and it was a great day. Everybody was there. We had, was cooking a ham. I decided not to cook a turkey just due to some other things. So I cooked a ham, and I made potatoes, and just, a full meal. It was a full meal. Had a table set up for the kids, and I had a little coloring thing out for them, which they enjoyed. And they loved playing in our garage because they like to, get dirty, and we have some weight equipment out there, and they like to play out there. But all day long, all I did was cook. I woke up at 7. I made the potatoes. I put the ham in the oven. I cleaned the kitchen. I straightened up the house. I got everything ready. And, Kevin did help. Then that was helpful. But in the end, I'm standing in the kitchen cleaning up. We'd even use paper plates. And I looked at it over the next day because I was so stressed, and things happened with my mom. She didn't feel good. And I was cooking and getting ready for this day and worried so much about what was going on in the kitchen, and I didn't spend it with my grandkids. And so I started thinking, and I was like, you know what? I told my mom, I said, this Christmas we're gonna do something really easy. I said, we're gonna go get Chick-fil-A nuggets, and we're gonna do Chick-fil-A fruit, and I'm gonna throw out some chips. But then it became a little bit more beyond that. It got larger. My friend at work was telling me a couple of things that they did and just some games that they play. And all of a sudden, I've come up with this idea. And so what I'm doing is I am throwing my kids' grandchildren a snowman party. So I went online and I ordered invitations to the snowman party. I sent them all invitations in the mail. Every week between now and Christmas, they get something in the mail from me and Kevin, and it's an activity or some little gifts like pencils, maybe something the elf is bringing them, supposedly, but it's coming from us. We're going to play games, and we're going to do art projects, and we're going to, I'm making snowmen out of their presents. So I'm doing all of these things because I want to be Grandma Coffin. I don't want to be Grandma Carlton. So that day was a shift in my perspective of what was really important in life. I've always known that it's important to spend time with my family and do those things, but so many times we'll get so caught up in the small details of things that we forget what the true story is. This past week, my mom called me, and my daughter had asked my grandsons, they're 6 and 3, Ben and Max, and she asked Max and Ben, she said, what are you thankful for? And they sat there for a minute, and Ben and Max says, I'm thankful for Mama, which is my mother. He was thankful for Mama. And she goes, well, why are you thankful for Mama? And he stood up and started singing a song about Tic Tacs and mints, because that's how they know my mom. She gives them Tic Tacs and she gives them peppermints. And so for me, it just reiterated my thought after Thanksgiving. That it's more important for me to spend quality time with my grandchildren than it is to worry about the cooking in the kitchen. Because as I've watched George Bush pass this week, and just something that one of the ladies in our group says, Casey Baker, when you leave this earth, what are you going to be remembered for? Are you going to be remembered for that part where you're so worried about the birds? Are you going to be remembered because of the small things that you've done for your children and your grandchildren and the people around you that you love? And that's the way I want to be remembered.